So this was a threshold voltage problem where the question was to plot the ID versus Vx characteristic, and this ID was your drain current and Vx was your body voltage. And since there is a voltage at the body, so a parameter called body effects come into the picture, and due to this, instead of writing Vt naught in the current expression, we are writing the expression of Vt, which takes the form of this expression. Fine. So in this expression, it was seen if VSB is 0, then my Vt naught is nothing but Vt is nothing but your Vt naught. But when VSB is not equals to 0, then Vt is not equals to Vt naught. Rather, it increases or decreases depending upon the magnitude of VSB. So when VSB is positive, so when VSB was positive, the total effective value of this one was very high. So when it is very high, so what happens? This Vt naught plus some X factor comes, due to which the effective Vt gets hiked up. When VSB is negative, then what happens? This complete factors get what happens? The complete factors will get a lower factor than 2 phi f. So this overall will become with a negative sign, and that negative sign will be introduced here. So effective Vt naught, what will happen? It will take effective Vt naught will be Vt naught minus, let's say, some y parameter is there, and due to this Vt will decrease. This means then VSB was positive, my threshold voltage is increased. When VSB is negative, threshold voltage is decreased, and when it is VSB is 0, then Vt remains to Vt naught. So in this question, we see that here VSB is there. What is VSB here? VSB is Vs minus Vb. Vs is this, where is the source? Source is the arrow part, that was 0, and Vb is nothing but Vx. This means VSB is nothing but minus of Vx. It means what? That at the body, my effective VSB is taking a negative value. Okay, so negative value is there. So the question is saying what will happen to the drain current magnitude when Vx is changed from minus infinity to 0. This means from the most negative part we are moving to the positive part. This means from negative we are moving to positive. So what will happen? Initially there will be low Vt, but as we move further, the Vt will increase. And since we know in the ID equation, it is nothing but proportional to Vgs minus Vth whole square if it is in saturation. And when my Vth is low, my ID will high, and when my Vth is increasing, slowly my ID will decrease. Okay, so based on all this analysis, we plot the ID versus Vx characteristic. So when we plot, we should know what are the extreme points of Vx. So extreme points of Vx will be minus infinity and 0. So minus infinity we cannot put, rather we need to know what is the worst case of Vxe, how much negative value it will take. So for prediction of that, we have to take the worst condition of MOSFET, that till what point it will be on. So we know that MOSFET will be on till VGS is greater than or equal to VTH. And here if you see, my VGS is nothing but VG minus VS. Vs is 0, Vg is 1.2. I can say my effective VGS is fixed to 1.2 volt. This means for this MOSFET, my threshold voltage will be sticked to 1.2 volt. This means we can use this VGS only for those MOSFETs which have threshold below to 1.2 or till 1.2. So using the approximation that let it be 1.2 volt, that MOSFET is just at the edge of on condition, putting Vt 1.2 naught, I can calculate what should be that Vx value. In that case, where the Vt is maximum is 1.2. So we can put in this equation Vt 1.2 volt, Vt naught given by the manufacturer. 2 phi f value also is given. What is VSB is minus Vx. So we got Vx equals to minus 8.83 volt. So at this particular voltage, my threshold voltage attainable is 1.2 volt. So this means beyond this there will be MOSFET will go into the off condition, and so this is my 8 minus 8.83 volt, beyond which the M will be in the off condition. So this is M is on condition. Now as what happens then, what to the Vx when Vx value is decreased from negative, it goes to the positive direction. So what happens between this region? So if we see in this region, for this we have to plot the ID, because once the MOSFET is on, then a certain amount of current will flow, and how the current will flow, that will depend upon the magnitude of the, or with that will depend upon the parameter values associated with the drain current equation. So drain current equation is half mu n Pox W by L Vgs minus Vt whole square. Since we are measuring in a case where Vx is existing, means Vx has certain value and it is affecting the MOSFET, so this Vt naught will be replaced by a Vt expression. So once we replace by Vt, what we will write here? Minus Vth naught minus gamma and internal values. Okay. So now in this you substitute the value, that half minus W by L IGS Vgs minus Vt, every parameter when we substitute, then if we see when we increase the Vx value, so what will happen? This effective value will get, this effective value will get a lower value compared to this subtrahend part, the minus part. So effectively what will happen here, we will get some Vgs, here we will get some positive value. So once we get positive value, so compared to the previous value when Vx was 0, sorry, when Vx was minus 8.83, my current magnitude will increase. So with what amount it will increase, that is difficult to predict here. But Vx, because Vx at what point we are calculating, we don't know. But randomly you think that if Vx is increasing, definitely it will goes to the positive value. This positive and this Vgs will make effective current value to be higher up with the previous value. So a small rise in the current will be there. Until what point it will go, we'll calculate the maximum. Since it is a square law, so a parabolic structure will be there, sorry, exponential, and then at Vx0, what will happen, we'll get the standard ID expression. So ID will have some definite value, fixed value, so that ID is there. So this is the approximated curve what we got with this sweep. Okay, so this way we do analysis of this threshold voltage modulations. And then the question is, when VSB is negative, what happens to VTH? So whether it will decrease or whether it will increase. So if VSB is negative, if you see in the VSB is negative, so minus comes here. So effective this value becomes lower than this value. So minus sign will be introduced here. So what will happen to the effective threshold? It will reduce from VT naught. So is this correct? Yes, it is correct. Then is there any channel modulation in the triode? No, because channel modulation always exists in the saturation, which is the condition after the pinch off. So this is also, this is not correct. Fine. So these two can be your like quiz problems. Then comes the problem of IV characteristics. Yeah.
Sir, in previous
Then
example,
comes the problem. Huh?
so the equation ID that you have used, that shall be used in saturation case.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes, sir. So
Yeah, yeah. It's saturation. This is nothing but your complete VT expression.
yes, sir.
So no, okay,
We have to
yes.
use this. If we
Uh,
have to use
the
this, then
question
we
is how to deduce. Yes, I got your question. Your question is like how, why we will write only saturation? That is the question.
no, sir. My question is
Which?
this equation
Uh,
is used when VDS is greater than equal to VGS minus VTH, and here
yes.
VGS and
Hmm.
VTH are equal. So how come we know that VDS?
Okay. So if you check VDS, what is VDS value? Is your VD minus VS. So VD is, this is drain voltage, this is source voltage. So VD is 2 minus 0, that is 2 volt. What is VGS? VGS is VG is 1.2 minus VS0, that is 1.2. So what is VGS minus VTH? Not the standard, that is 1.2 minus 0.3. So how much this is? 0.9 volt. So definitely from the figures we can say VDS is greater than VGS minus VTH. So definitely this MOSFET is operating in the saturation. So we will use the ID of saturation.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Okay. So before operation, you have to cross check whether it will be in saturation or linear. Suppose it resembles the linear, then I cannot use this equation. I have to go for the linear equation. Okay. Like in this example, you will see. We have to plot the IV characteristic of this MOSFET. Fine. So to plot IV characteristic, no, sorry. We have to plot the on resistance of M1 as a function of Vg, and we have given the parameters. So when the question comes, plot the on resistance of M1. Now what is on resistance? On resistance is nothing but, we remember, it is given by 1 by mu n Cox W by L VGS minus VTH, and it was the case when there was a triode region of operation. Fine. So in order to calculate the on resistance, what should be the condition? It should be in the triode region. This means my VGS minus VTH should be greater than VDS. Okay. So here the drain terminal is left open. Drain is open. So we don't know what is the drain voltage. Okay. So what will be the value of VGS minus VTH? So what is VGS? VG is unknown here. So we'll substitute here VG minus VS. What is VS here? Where there is arrow, that is your source. Opposite is drain. Left out is gate. So source is 1. So VG minus 1 minus VTH. VTH is given as a 0.3. This should be greater than VDS. So VDS is unknown here. It can be floating value is there. So it can be any value, 0 or it can be 1 and anything. So here it's difficult to predict what should be the VDS value. So we have to go with the assumption that it is working in the triode region. And at most here 1 volt is also there, then it will be turned to 0. And then VG means VG will be greater than 1 plus 0.3. So let's assume at drain and source it is at this voltage. So this means my VG, when it is greater than 1 plus 0.3 is 1.3. So when my VG is greater than 1.3, then my MOSFET will get turned on. Oh, sorry. Then it will be in the linear region. So with this assumption that it is going in linear region, my required VG should be 1.3 volt. And it should be greater than, otherwise it should be greater than that. So we got the lower point of VG, that is 1.3 volt. So this is my lower point of VG from where the triode region will be seen. Now how the curve will go? So to calculate how the curve will go, we'll substitute the values, that what is mu and Cox, it is given here. Then W by L, this value is given. VGS minus VTH. So VGS is VG minus 1. This is your VGS minus this is your VTH. Now here VG is unknown, that we are modulating the VG. If we are going VG greater than 1.3 volt, it will remain in triode, and how the response will be there, that we can see when VG is increasing, the resistance will start decreasing. Okay, this means at 1.3 certain amount of resistance was there, X value, and with increase in VG it starts decreasing. And if VG is very high, what will happen? The resistance will go to very minimum value and almost it will tend to 0. So this will be the some approximate graph of this on resistance. Okay. So now we could coming to this problem. This is the set of data given from the simulation of certain MOSFET. The set of data is VGS is given, VDS is given, VSB is given, and ID is given. So from where we have to predict which is the type of the device, number one. Then calculate, once we know the type, calculate, sorry, this should not be there. Otherwise you know which type it is. We have to calculate K, where K is nothing but parameter constant, it is mu Cox. Okay. Some questions is there. One minute, let me check. Please explain previous problem once again. Okay. So in the previous problem, it is so saying that plot the on resistance of M1. Okay. So on resistance of M1 means to be from current slide. Okay. So on resistance of M1 means we are working in where we see the resistive behavior. Resistive behavior is seen in the triode region. So this means we are talking about to work in the triode region. So how it will work in triode region and how the on resistance will play role with the change in Vg that we have to plot, and the parameters are given associated. And one more information is given that drain terminal is left open. So this means this drain is open, this can take any value. So when we assume that M1 is in triode, so when M1 is triode, then this means my VDS is less than VGS minus VTH. Okay. So what is VD? I don't know. So here, since drain terminal is left open, I can say, let's say that VDS is 0, because we have to maintain the relation that VGS minus VTH should be greater than 1. So minimum value, let's say it is 0. So what will be VGS is VG minus VS1 minus VTH is 0.3. This means if I maintain VG greater than 1.3 volt, then my MOSFET will start working in the triode region. So we had taken the lower edge at 1.3 volt and we started the analysis. So to start the analysis, we know the standard formula of Ron, that is given by 1 by mu n Cox W by L VGS minus VTH. So this mu n Cox value is already given in the question. So this is what W by L is given, VTH is given. In place of VGS, it will come VG minus 1, because now the change in Vg will affect the resistance. So this finally we got this expression. Now when the Vg is 0, we will have certain value of Ron. So put the Vg 0. So but Vg 0 is not possible, so you can put here Vg 1.3 volt. So when Vg is 1.3 volt, what is the Ron resistance? At 1.3, what is the Ron resistance? So this is 1.3, this is minus 1.3, we get Ron almost equal to infinite. So we'll start with some axis, some value, because we are not knowing the actual value of drain. So we'll say some from infinite, some value is there, and we have started this. So this is my starting point. Until what it will go, that we have to assume with the variation of Vg. So when we assume that it is going greater than 1.3 volt, my magnitude of Ron will start decreasing. So since it is inversely proportional, so slow decrease will be there, and at very extreme high Vg, what will happen? This Ron will go to the very minimum value, but it will not touch to 0, but almost it will try to approach the 0 value. So slowly it will decrease, and minimum value will be achieved like this. So this will be my Ron resistance plot. ठीक है, आगे बढ़े, चलो. So so this is the IV characteristic. Again, one more question. Okay, this is the set of data. Any MOSFET set of data is given, and it is given that you have to determine the type of device. You have to calculate the parameters. Okay, so which parameters we have to calculate? K means here mu C of W by L, VT naught, and gamma. Given phi f is minus 0.3. Now in order to determine the type of device means whether it is NMOS or whether it is PMOS. So how we will determine? So there are various parameters like phi f notation was there. There was gamma. There was your VT naught, or there was your. This was the from the parameters given we can identify if we know the signs of this one. Else the arrow direction at source. What is the arrow direction at source? From there we can determine. This means from this symbol. And lastly, we can determine looking at the VGS value. Fine. So this way we can determine looking at the VGS. If VGS is getting positive value, then it is NMOS. So which type of device is there? We see the information here. So what we see here, that phi f is negative. So phi f is negative here, gamma not given. This we have to calculate. VT not also not given. So phi f is negative. Then we check here VGS, VDS, VSB 0. So what we check here, VGS is positive, VDS is positive, and ID is positive. So which type of device it is representing? It is nothing but talking about the NMOS. Okay. So first resemblance from phi f. Phi f is negative means it is definitely an NMOS because surface potential, that Fermi potential is negative. But other than that, we can identify from VGS values. Positive VGS, if you see the positive VGS is there, and in the positive VGS some current is flowing. This means it is a NMOS device. For PMOS it is negative VGS, and that gives me the current value. So definitely it is a NMOS device. So type of MOS is your NMOS. Now comes the calculation of parameters. So to calculate the parameters, how we'll proceed? No informations are given, just only these values are given. So here we know ID equals to half mu n P ox W by L, yes, minus VT. Acha. The second thing is to determine which equation to write in order to calculate the parameter. So which equation to write? Whether we have to write saturation or we have to write the linear equation, so that we can calculate these internal what the associated parameters. So when we do go for the analysis, we should know it is linear or saturation. So we'll check for this one. In the first row, let's row, this is row 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6. So from 1, what we see here, VGS minus VTH. What should be VGS minus VTH, and what is VDS here? From second also we check what is VGS minus VTH and VDS minus VTH. So from 1, what we check here, VGS is 3, VDS is 3, and since it is NMOS, so VTH must be some positive value. So which type of relation will be here? It will be greater than or lesser than. What about the VGS minus VTH? It will be lesser or greater? Can anybody speak out? यहाँ कौन सा सिंबल आएगा, लेस देन का या ग्रेटर देन का? चलो ठीक है, तो 3 माइनस सम पॉजिटिव वैल्यू, डेफिनेटली इट विल बी लेस. ठीक है, तो फ्रॉम 1 वी सेड दैट इट इज इन सैचुरेशन. चलो दूसरा चेक करते हैं. सो इन द सेकंड आल्सो इफ वी सब्स्टिट्यूट, तो 4 माइनस VTH जो कि एक पॉजिटिव वैल्यू है, and here we are getting 4. So again this will be greater, so again saturation. This means these data are given for the saturation condition. So these two data we have analyzed. Even the third data is also in saturation. Remaining we are not analyzing. Just till here we can say 1, 2 and 3 data are corresponding to saturation current. So we'll write the saturation current expression. So this is the saturation current expression. Here no information of lambda is given, so we have assumed here lambda is 0. So we will not here write 1 plus lambda VDS. Okay, there is no channel modulation information given, so we will not write this value. So this is the expression given. Now if we want to proceed, ID is given. This complete value is not given. W by L is not given. VGS is given, VTH is not given. So one equation and we have so many unknowns. So we cannot write. We cannot use only single equation. So let's say this is ID1 and we'll write ID2. ID2 will be again the same expression because it is in saturation. So W by L, let's say it is VGS1 minus VT, VGS2 minus VT whole square. Let's write here N because it is NMOS. So this is also valid expression. Here also these are unknowns and this is also unknown, but this is known. So what we can do here, since it is a same MOSFET, the parameters are extracted for the single same MOSFET. This means whatever mu C ox W by L, it will remain constant. It will not change. Means this complete value of this one and this complete value will be same, and even the VTH will be also same. So if I take the ratio of ID1 by ID2, what will happen? This part and this part will cancel out. So we are left out with VGS1 minus VTN by VGS2 minus VTN. Okay, till here it is fine, no problem. Now this ID1 is given, ID2 is given, VGS1 is known, VGS2 is unknown, then only one unknown is there, that is VTN. So we can easily calculate. So what we will do here, we'll take here 97 divided by 235 equals to VGS1 is 3 minus VTN divided by VGS2 is 4 minus VTN. Then doing the cross multiplication, we can get the what is VTN value. So this problem is solved. What is VTN value? Is it clear? So one of the parameter is known here. Now comes the calculation of second parameter, that is Kn. So how to calculate Kn? So now we know what is Vt. Let us erase all. So in the ID expression, now what is known to us? VGS is known, Vt is known, Vt will be same till here. Okay. And ID is known. So we have to calculate, we can calculate what is mu and Cox W by L. So what will be mu and Cox? You can use any of the set of variables. So let's say I'm assuming the third one. So I will write here 433 equals to half. This is nothing but your K. VGS is 5 minus VTH, whatever we have calculated earlier, a whole square. So this will give me the K value. So this problem is also solved here. That will achieve my Kn value. Okay. Then comes then comes the gamma. Now what is this notation where it is used? Can you recall any expression where you have seen this notation? So this notation was shown in Vt expression, that was your Vt naught plus gamma square root of 2 phi f plus Vsv minus square root of 2 phi f. Okay, so we have to calculate this one. Now to calculate this one, it means definitely there is a body effect, because this will exist only when it has some finite value. If it is 0, then gamma will disappear. So when this will exist when there is a VSB effect. Fine. So we have to use the expressions which are showing VSB effects. So where are the VSB effects? So these three are the set of values where VSB effects are playing the role. Okay. So so when we calculate Vt naught, we have calculated. This is known. Gamma we don't know. 2 phi f is known. VSB is known. This is known. Okay. And what about Vt? Vt is also unknown. So we have one equation and two unknowns. So we cannot solve. So what we have to go? We have to again go for the set of data and we have to check what we can do here. So again, there are one equation and two variables. This means we have to go for two equations and we have to calculate at least one of the variable, either Vt or gamma. So we know whenever there is a VSV effect, there is a threshold voltage modulation. So in the let's say this was your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in the 4, 5 or 6, my ID current will be half mu1 Cox W by L VGS minus capital VT whole square. ठीक है, this VT will not be equals to VT naught or will not be equals to VT and what we have calculated. Why? Because there will be VSB effect is shown here and all are getting the same VSB effect. So from here, this value is known to us. ID is given in the question. VGS is given, so we can calculate what is VT. So for using this, we can calculate what is VT. Fine. So once we calculated VT, we'll substitute this VT here and then we can calculate gamma. So this will solve your this gamma problem. Fine. So this way we can complete this question. So solution is also shown here. I will show you. So this was the set of data. First we have used ID expression. Okay, initially they have calculated Kn. So alternately also they can calculate, like ID expression is given. Now the question, according to the question, the first parameter they are calculating Kn. So how to calculate Kn? So they have normalized, like taking the square root, we'll get this form. Now we have to compare two equations they have compared. So 433 and 97. Okay, they have compared this and this. So this they have compared 1 and 3. 1 and 3. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So comparing 1 and 3 and taking the ratio, you will get Kn by 2 and VGS by Vt. So rearranging this Vt will, how they have written. So square root of Kn by 2 will be equals to here square root of ID by VGS minus Vt. Fine. So square root of Kn by 2, how they have written this one, VGS minus Vt. Wait a minute, why they have written ID1, ID2. Okay, 1 minute. Let me write square root of, let's say it is ID1, this is VGS1, Vt will remain same. Square root of ID2 will be equals to Kn by 2, VGS2 minus Vt. And if we do square root of ID1 minus square root of ID2, what we'll get here? Okay, this will be constant, so it will taken out. And internally we will get VGS1 minus Vt minus VGS2 acha, plus Vt. So this and this will cancel out. So we'll get here Kn by 2 VGS1 minus VGS2, and then rearranging we'll get this expression. So from here directly they have calculated Kn first. Okay, so this way also you can calculate Kn, and once Kn is calculated so from here 5.48, then what will be Kn? So Kn will be your taking the square of this one, then multiplying by 2 will give you the Kn value. Okay, so and then they have calculated Kn equals to 2 into the same thing. First they have taken a square, then multiplied by 2, because we got the value of Kn by 2 equals to 5.48. 5.48 into 10 raised to power of minus 3. So what will be Kn? Square into 2. So this way also we can find the Kn. And once Kn is known, from this expression we can put the value of ID, Kn, and then Vt. So what will be Vt expression here? If we solve this expression, we'll get here, since it is in the square form, so square root of ID will be equals to square root of Kn by 2 into VGS minus Vt So taking Vt on the left hand side, Vt will be equals to Id by 2 square root of Id divided by square root of Kn by 2, and this will come with the this is positive, okay. Vt goes this side, this will come with the minus sign, and plus Vgs will come here. So we got the expression Vgs minus this way. This one, the same equation is written here. Substituting, you will get the value of Vt naught. Okay. So till here it was fine from this set of data. Now you have to calculate the gamma. So for gamma we have used this expression. So in this expression you say any all VSB are same, so we can take any value. So in this question they have considered this 173 value. So Vt is given Vgs minus this relation already we seen in the previous slide. So in this relation Vgs is 4 volt minus square root of 2 into Id, to 2 into Id divided by mu and Cox. So mu and Cox W by L is calculated using previous Kn. This 60 is placed here and we got the Vt value. So this Vt is under body effect, and body effect means this 3. So now substitute this Vt here and we calculate the gamma, because other parameters are already given in the data set, and we calculated the gamma. Okay. Even in this also you can determine the mode of operation. If you see Vgs minus Vt, in all the cases it will be like, example I take the last expression. So Vgs minus Vt and Vds for the fifth row. So Vgs is 5 minus Vt, Vt came some positive value, and Vds is 5. So again it is greater, so it is showing in saturation. This means throughout we have to use all are operating in saturation only. Then comes the problem of the CV characteristics. So in the CV characteristic, problem will be straightforward. Like given is the abrupt junction of the PN junction is there. Simple abrupt junction is there. So there were two forms. One was your abrupt and one was a linear. According to that, the gradient value M was decided, which is reverse bias, V bias. Definitely it should be. The doping density Nd is given, and the doping density of p-type region Na is given, p-type substrate, and the doping in drain region. The junction area is given. So we have to calculate the zero bias capacitance. So zero bias capacitance Cj naught, directly formula you substitute. This is given by epsilon of Si q by 2 Na Nd and N plus Nd 1 plus phi naught. And this phi naught is given by Kt by q Na Nd by Ni square. Okay, and then you substitute. So what is epsilon Si? Epsilon Si is your 11.7 epsilon naught. Okay. Similarly, epsilon ox is I think 3.9 epsilon naught. Somewhat this value I have to cross check, but this is 11.7 epsilon naught. So 11.7 into epsilon naught, that is 8.854. So this is the epsilon Si value. Then this one 1.6 is the Q value divided by 2. This is your Na Nd, and this is the phi naught which you have calculated using this, and this will give you the zero bias capacitance. Suppose you have to calculate the junction capacitance, so that was the formula with some gradient value was there, and there M is abrupt. So abrupt means 1 by 2, I think 1 by 2 was there. Okay, so that you can use here. Okay, so now P channel MOSFET. Okay, okay, just we'll see the P channel. Shall we start? Okay, what to do? Okay, we'll stop here, and next class we'll start with the introduction of P channel. P channel, just we'll see the notations wise and some conceptual visualization, that looking at the figure straightforward without doing the given any values with the polarities also we can decide in which region it is operating. And once we know how to identify the region of operations, we'll go for the CMOS logic design. Okay, the gates design. So we'll stop here right now.